Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the HAMILTON Sevens and the Fijians are in action. There are a huge amount of supporters at the ground already at FMG Stadium getting behind the Flying Fijians for this one, and they will be looking to go all the way in this competition. There's going to be a tough quarterfinal just around the corner for them, but that is if they get through an even tougher group stage involving Samoa, France, and Kenya, but they find themselves here with France in this contest. Their starting lineup is as follows: Muthana Fangi, Jeremiah Matana, Walangi Nathunu. Also, the return of Jerry Tawai. Absolutely awesome to see him here on New Zealand soil. Ioane Teba and Felipe Saturanga, the last man in that Fijian starting lineup. Then for the French, it will be Legel, Zedar, Rebage, also Steven Perez, Riva, Pesquet, and Grandidier, the leading try scorer in the whole of the Sevens competition this year. He is going head-to-head with, normally it's Apilo Maliko, I believe, both sitting around that same mark for the amount of tries scored. We have got Vidiana going for the Fijians. They started playing Planet Coaster on Xbox Game Pass. So buy, let's go Fiji, says Brandon. And there as well, but the Fijians, they will be kicking off this match, going from right to left in Hamilton, ready to go for their first matchup. And Bullet Mr. Hamish, Fiji all the way, says Viniana, and I hope you are doing absolutely awesome. And it's a decent time in Fiji as well. It's the morning, which is a nice start for you guys. Similar to New Zealand, you guys have watched all those games in the middle of the night. Nice to have them on when the sun's out. That's going to be a little bit of an anticlimax. The Fijians kicking that one not quite the 10 meters to start this match off. And now France have the quick tap from the halfway line. Esteban Perez taking the quick tap here, going off to the left-hand side. Nice little wraparound play from the French. Slapped down by Fiji. Is it considered a yellow card offence? It is. And unfortunately, Waisia Nathungu already actually going off the field for 2 minutes. $20 I'll have to pay rather than 37 per month, rather get it a week, and back to 37. Says Max. So unfortunately, Nathungu, and as soon as that happened, you could see his face. He was disappointed. And that is because he did know that he just reached a bit further out from his body. Now, Steven Perez, good shot on him. I believe that was Ioane Tepa putting in that hit, and it's going to be the turnover penalty for the Fijians here. Looks like they're just going to slow this one down, work out exactly who they want taking the quick tap, and it has been taken nicely. Now, Fiji going to be stepping away to the left-hand side here. They've got numbers. Ioane Tepa on the halfway line. Randidier makes the tackle. Back across to the right. Now, without Nathungu, you'd think there'd be a little bit of a gap there around that first receiver position for the Fijians. They just have to be strategic with this one now, skidding their way through. 45 meters out from their own line here. Jerry Tawai, a little bit of a rough pass, but of course, that man might have a little bit of rust at the end of the day. We haven't seen him in action for quite a few months for the Fijians. Now Saturanga tries to go through. Great defense so far from France, not allowing the Fijians to make any extra meterage. Now thinking about the wide pass, it's a penalty to Fiji for offside. Great quick tap taken. I believe that was Walangi, one of the taller players around there. We haven't seen Tolofolo in this Sevens competition, which is a bit of a shame because he is such a dangerous player, although did have a knee injury for the last leg. But now it's going to be a nice step. Big fend of Steven Perez. Nice run forward once again by by Fiji. Now it's another penalty against the French. There's almost been 2 minutes of Fiji in attack here. That is now going to be the knock-on. Going back for another penalty. This might almost be at the stage of a yellow card. Yes, it is. France now find themselves only with 6 on the field. And also, did you watch Black Clash? I did. Very close matchup. At the end of Fijian players are superb athletes. They should win, but France are sneaky. Says Roof there, come on Fiji, says Viniana, go Fiji, says Jason. Is John Cocking playing? Says Tony, he is not at this stage. Although the thing that I didn't show on that one is I believe there's actually a local cricketer that does have that last name and the first name of the other fella from the video. So that's why there was a bit of confusion in that one. But now it's going to be firing back across again. We've seen Grandidier already get the yellow card for France. We've seen one for Nathunu, but the Fijians run it in out wide. And that will be their first try of the contest. It's always surprises France can hold them back. And Fiji should be too strong. And also, we have got the bro. Who do you reckon is winning? Says Anaket. For this match, I think Fiji should be able to get the job done. Not just because they've scored the first try, but because they're unorthodox, which is something that France, like their defense is very strong, France. But as soon as you start throwing things that other sides haven't thrown at them before, that's when you start to see those mistakes taking place. Samoa, says George. Hey, George. I don't think I've seen you on a Sevens live stream for a while, mainly because we haven't done a Sevens live stream for a while. Hope you're doing all right. Are you working today in the tractor? That's going to be unsuccessfully converted for Fiji. So that will now make the score 5-0 in favour of the almost what you call the home side Fiji, because the amount of support for them is more that we've seen, or more than we're probably going to see for New Zealand in their home competition. Nice flick on the inside to Steven Perez. Thought about the offload option to Legiel, but doesn't go to him. Now Rabaj goes back across. Pasquet. Nice pass to Perez down the wing. Does a great step on the inside. Looks for the offload, but it is going to be knocked on again. Just little mistakes at the moment is what it's costing France, but it's keeping Fiji definitely in the box seat. More Fiji, says Viniana. And there's always surprises. France can hold them back. Fiji should be too strong, says Roof. And the other side of things is if France lose this game, they may be even more fired up for their next game when they do go head-to-head with Samoa. I'm worried about Fiji, says Jason. As in, you're worried about them from a Fijian standpoint or against Fiji? Jason, do let me know. And Fiji is very strong for France, says Coding. They are. France made 21 errors in Cape Town. And Hamilton, New Zealand, very Scottish. Amish, how's the weather there, says Roof? It is, I'd say it's about a 20-degree day, overcast. And hopefully the rain stays away. But they've got a second field actually playing at the moment. Argentina versus Spain taking place at this very moment. Nice step from Nathungu. Goes on the outside now. It's going to be well done from the Fijians, just to always find hands when they go for their offloads. Willing to let that one go to ground. Filippo Satoranga going back across now for the Fijians, just on their own 22 with 2 minutes left on the clock now. Trying to look for another chance to go over the try line. Even if they win in with a 2-try lead at halftime, though, they are not out of the woods yet up against this French side who can score tries in very quick succession. Another question, bro, how far do you think Springboks going to get in the World Cup? At least semi, says Anakit. I think, it's tricky because it depends on whether they come up against New Zealand or France in their quarterfinal, I think. But it is going to be tough for any side for that side of the draw. That's going to be the try again for Fiji, just breaking their way through the line. And it will be Nathungu. Does go in, score the try for Fiji. It's quite the roar from the Hamilton crowd. And also, Hamish probably hasn't been outside yet, says George. That is true. It's currently 9:39 a.m. Got up at about 8. Got the streams all set up and ready to go. I'm worried about Fiji, Samoa. Fiji too strong for Samoa, says Jason. Hello, says Chris. Welcome in, mate. You're doing very well. And Nathungu recently coming off the bench, or coming off the, I guess you call it the sin bin chair, which normally is pretty busy in a game of sevens. You normally see a 1 yellow card a game somewhere around there. Anything can happen, says Chris. Exactly right. Cooler weather, no rainstorm like Cape Town final. They're lucky, says Roof. Yeah, as long as it doesn't pour like that in the final, it should be a full 14 minutes that we get to see. Of course, that Cape Town one, we missed out on the first 3 or 4 minutes due to the rain. And then they came back to the coverage and players needed a boat to get off the field. That's how much water fell in short succession. Now currently in the hands of Rebaj. Oh, in fact, it was Pasquet. Sorry, now nice inside ball to Rebaj. Grandier, the try scorer machine for the French. He's already been to the bin as well. Now it's going to be a loose ball. Fiji able to kick it forward with the grubber waiting for this one to sit up. It might be a knock on, was it? No. They've said it's gone back, and Perez has got it again for France. Flat pass off to Pauline Riva. He was away from the 7th circuit for a little while. He has made his way back in their last leg. Now it's a nice foot race for France. They go in for the try at the end of the first half. And that's how you do it, right at the end of the half. It's going to be Zidane who has gone in to score that try. And that is why Fiji, like I mentioned, they cannot take their foot off the gas at any point throughout this matchup. Because as soon as you do, the French are normally able to capitalize. And they've got some good players off the bench. They've got Nelson Epe, also Iraguha, going to be there as well. Fiji, they've got a bit of power off the bench as well. Nodovalo, Bukayaro, Avakurabili, another player that they've got. Nosa Samoa looks good as well. Fiji was not playing as well as they could. Maybe the tournament better, says Ruth. And it's a tricky group because they've got Samoa, Fiji, France, and Kenya. Now, Kenya are known for causing big upsets. And if they're able to upset any of the sides in that group, that's pretty much their chances of going through to the next stage completely gone, which is why every point is crucial. And you got to make sure you're winning those slightly what you consider easier games, which is pretty much when you play Kenya. And Kenya are no easy beat. Like if they beat Samoa in the next game, yes, it would be a massive shock, but it also wouldn't be hugely surprising with the talent that Kenya have got in their lineup. They've got a Nelson of their own, not just Nelson Epe for France. We are going to see him in action in less than 30 minutes' time. In fact, it's only in about 8 minutes' time that we will get to see him. In fact, it might be 15 minutes. I think it starts at 9:55. But so far, 2 tries for Fiji, 1 for France. So still everything to play for in the second half. That misconversion could come back to bite both Fiji and France, though, as both of them having one unsuccessful one in that half. But then Fiji able to get the one of Nathono. Fijian coach at the moment. They're showing he's got a little bit of strapping on his elbow. It's as if he's been trying to run it at the Fijian players and has just been dropped. Looks like Jerry Tawai being left out there on the field by the looks of it. Yes, he is. For a little bit longer. And of course, the crowd, as soon as they saw that man's name in the Fijian squad, they knew that it was going to be exciting to see him come back. For the Fijians, we saw him accompany them in the Commonwealth Games. Other than that, though, not a lot of Jerry Tawai on the Sevens circuit. Kicked off high from Stephen Perez. And Tawai unable to get that one, but Lejal knocks it on. Vakurabili just runs out of room down the wing. No advantage. Knock on will be the Fijian feed. 7 minutes left of the half. There is a second field over the other side, like I mentioned, in that game at the moment has Argentina versus Spain. I'll give you a score update for that one. We will just get it up on the phone. It's always a shame when they've got overlap games. Definitely when they don't have a second channel to be able to show you what's happening in that other match, even if it was just a little tiny screen in the top corner that pops up every 2 minutes or so, would be quite a nice touch. But currently in that other Sevens matchup, it is sitting 15-0 for Argentina. And in the game between Leon and the Bulls, for anyone following the URC, currently Leon are winning that game 17-0. Now Thungu, nice ball on the inside. Flat pass, maybe slightly forward, but Fiji will scamper through. Saturanga should have the pace to get there, and he does. And it's going to be the try for the Fijians once again. Come on, Fiji. And yes, Tawai is back in the squad, says Krish. Nicely scored by Felipe Saturanga. Set up very nicely by his teammate, Walangi. Are they going to be checking this one for the forward pass? I don't believe they've gone upstairs. It was flat, but was it forward? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but they didn't check it, so it's fine. Fiji score and now move themselves up to 17 points. Should be a nice, easy conversion in the process as well. More Fiji, more, says Viniana in there as well. So you'd still say with 5 minutes left, Fiji aren't completely out of the woods yet. They still need, I would say, one more try, and if they can do that, they should have a successful game up against the French here. And if they concede now, it gets interesting for those final few moments. So far, we've seen 8 missed tackles from France, which is something we're not really used to seeing. That many missed tackles is going to be nicely done here by France to be able to retain. Now going back across to the right-hand side, Legel goes a couple more. Grandier tries to do the step. Rabage now. Oh, almost turned over. Yes, it is. Very nicely done by the Fijians to be able to get this ball back now 30 meters out from that line. Here comes Jerry Tuai. Great step. He's still got it. And now does he have the pace though? He's going to be caught 40 meters out from the line. Finds the offload to his bigger teammate Jeremiah Matana. Little knock on the ground. Beautifully stepped through the gap there for the veteran Jerry Tuai. Just sells Riva the wrong way. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the pace that he wanted. Oh, these French players are very quick. A great step around Riva. I feel like that's a clip that will be going on the social medias for a little bit of time. Jerry Tuai, 33 years of age. He scored 138 tries throughout his Sevens career. So he's had a fair crack, I think is the best way of describing it. Now Filippo Bucayaro will be making his way onto the field. And we will go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. Now it's going to be the scrum feed for the French. Iragua will be putting this ball in. Only 3.5 minutes left. That's an interesting tactic. I haven't seen that one used before. Bucayaro, soon as Iragua about to put the ball in, just spanked him. And I assume that's to try and put him off, but it didn't really work. France still getting their scrum feed. It's going to be a loose ball. Iragua cleans it up nicely. Now going back across to the left-hand side here. Pasquet, nice pace on that one. Legel, taken nicely when it was round by his bootlaces. Big tackle made by Jeremiah Matana. More Fiji, more. Says Viniana, also come on Fiji, you can do it. Says Chris there. Now Riva goes off now. Pasquet trying to scamper through. Nice step twice in a row. Iragua now off the left-hand step. Oh, he's been tackled about 5 years too late for that one, but it is going to be play on now. France, another chance to try and get back into this contest. Legel's got the pace, slides in, and does score the try for France. And like I mentioned, you cannot underestimate this French side. As soon as you give them a chance, they'll take it. And Jerry, the talisman for Fiji, says Rouvier. He's been around for so long, Jerry Tuai. It's great to see him back. And I believe even if he does end up retiring in the next few years for his rugby sevens career, I think we're going to see him back in some sort of coaching role. I feel like it's only fitting that he would do something along those lines. And I think he would like to do some sort of coaching as well. And Jerry Tuai, number one sevens player of the world, says Viniana. The conversion unsuccessful from France. That is a very big talking point because now with 2 minutes left, they need a try and then they need another one after that or a drop kick, I guess, or a penalty or anything along those lines that rewards the 3 points. It'll go on now, though. Kicking off for the French, going from right to left. Legel tries to slap it back. I think he slapped it into his own head. And because of it, Fiji will get the deflection. Nathungu going to have a foot race at the moment with Fauna, who just doesn't quite get him, but instead slows him down enough. It's knocked on by Walangi, but that is brilliant last-ditch defense. Fauna was able to slow him down. Nelson Epi came flying in like a freight train and smacked him in his ribcage. Now 1 minute 20 left on the clock now. Conrad Billy taking it very nicely off the kickoff and then just managed to find his link-up pass. Nathungu, though, smacked by Nelson Epi. Last-ditch effort from France, and that's exactly what we need to see, that little bit of fight. They've only got 80 seconds left in this match now to try and find another 9 points on the board to draw, which is not possible unless they went 3 penalties, which I wouldn't see them doing. They've actually got a free kick 10 metres out from their line. So France, another chance for them to go in for another try perhaps, but they've got to go 75 metres. And instead, Fiji get the steal. They weren't quite on the mark, so this will use up a bit more time while Bucayaro walks back, takes the quick tap now, goes off to the left-hand side. My Samoa has made his way onto the park. Speaking of Samoa, they are going to be playing up against Kenya in a very short moment. We will be covering that game on the channel as well. Back across to the right, My Samoa doesn't quite on the pass option to Nathungu. They're going back for another penalty. This time it's for offside. Firing the ball across. My Samoa takes a quick tap. He looks like he's almost going to back himself to go in. Doesn't quite. Yes, he does, in fact. broke through the tackle. Looked like he was for certain going to be stopped. Just uses that strength and just drives those legs through the tackle. Gets his first try in Hamilton. And that might be the last try of this match that we get to see 19 points to 10. Currently, that will then drift up to 24 points to 10 with a successful conversion, making it 26. Fijian players too fast. Imagine trying to stop them, says Ruth. And the thing is, they don't just have that speed, but they've also got that strength. So in that case, they caught my Samoa, but then he just drives his legs and gets through the tackle. And that's going to be kicked successfully, and that will be the end of the game. 26 points to 10. The winners of this contest, Fiji, they will be looking forward to their next matchup, which is actually going to be up against Kenya, I believe. It is not too far away, only a few hours' time. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Our next live stream, like I mentioned, it is going to be Kenya taking on Samoa. That will be kicking off in only about 2 or 3 minutes' time. So we will be back in a short moment. Fiji all the way, Vanaka for the commentary. Mr. Hamish says, Viniana, no worries at all. And I do look forward to seeing you back for a couple of the future matchups as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.